are streaming live from Bubble HQ.
It's launch day at Bubble.
This is finally it. The day that we at Bubble give the whole world a new best friend.
Wrong's Gone Wrong is about the next generation of devices that's going to replace your mobile phone, which is your little walking, talking robot friend. Every single kid has got one, except for the slightly oddball kid, Barney.
I'll see you later.
He's the last kid in town to get the phone, effectively.
Selfie!
He's the only one without a Bebot.
Barney, it's your birthday. You still didn't get a Bebot?
There's always one who's the last person to get a phone. I think my son was one of those who was like, everyone else in class has got a phone apart from me.
Happy late birthday, Barney.
What? Dad! Oh, Dad! You got me one! Thank you so much!
He finally gets one, and it's broken.
Hi, insert registered name.
It just doesn't know how to connect. It doesn't know how to do any of the things that it was designed to do.
Where are you going?
Abu Dhabi, Addis Ababa.
You're supposed to stay within 6 feet of me!
6?
The Bebots are supposed to be your best friend out of the box. That's the whole idea. And Ron doesn't even know what a friend is. So it's a story of a kind of an odd couple and Barney trying to teach this robot how to be a friend. And in the end, actually, we kind of see this really cool relationship develop between them.
Woohoo!
The film was written by Sarah and Pete Bainham, her longtime writing partner. And they have a fantastic relationship, very funny.
We gotta get out of here.
And so they developed the ideas and wrote the script.
The kid? I want everything. Contacts, shopping habits, shoe size.
You mean his private data?
Sure. Why else do we collect it?
I wanted to find a way to do something about social media and the internet that wasn't inside the internet, some big sci-fi thing where you went inside it. And so it really was about how could you personify an iPad? How could you make an iPad an animation character? That was kind of the aim, so that we could make it a fun, playful thing in the real world to see how kids are using technology in their relationships, both for good and for bad.
Okay.
There's something we're trying to say about friendship in the modern age. Now it's become harder for kids because, lots of kids end up sitting in their rooms trying to connect with other friends, but are they connected with friends or are they just speaking to a computer?
When I first heard the early pitch of Ron, I just connected with the story.
Woohoo!
It gave me the feeling of kind of a Spielbergian kind of story, like a coming of age, a real growing up childhood story, but with a real element of what it's like to be a kid today. We can create tons of fun comedy set pieces.
Barney Podowski?
But they don't mean anything unless they're driven by a character's choices. So that's the first thing we start at. What does it mean to be this person and what do they want? And then it's talking to the story team and developing a real sense of the relationship between the two main characters.
Connection is one of the biggest things. For me, in a story, it's a universal, human condition about emotion. And it should be the first priority. You start from there and then start building off like other references and things that can work for kids and also for the adults.
I think you really need a strong set of characters, strong set of relationships, and obviously a strong story. But I always feel that if it goes in that order, you're more likely to get a great story.
You have 5 new friends. I did a search for them. Shane likes low-priced alcohol and conspiracy theories.
We are so excited about the cast. It's a great team and they work brilliantly for the characters and the design of the characters.
You have to get a sticker. We can't play this game. It's really fun. Just get a sticker.
We have Jack Dylan Grazer, who's playing Barney. You can really feel his incredible talent in this performance.
Boom! Ha! Boom!
The best bit of recording that we did, or certainly the most fun for us, was when we actually got Jack and Zach together to do some scenes where they were playing off each other.
I don't think I've ever laughed harder in my life. It made me laugh so hard. He's so funny. I'm also a huge fan of him. I'm never gonna let him know that, but I think he's one of the funniest people I've ever seen in my life. He's so funny. I love him.
Having them together in the room gave us one of the most delightful bits of animation in the movie because they're sort of talking over each other and go, no, you, no, what, no. And the animators are able to do something so spontaneous with that and give the real feeling of kind of comedy life.
You need a stick! Searching for stick. Huh? Is this one good?
And then we have Ed Helms playing Barney's dad.
Oh, hi, Barney.
What's up, buddy? You good? Yeah, all right, good day. What's happening?
Who is just kind of so full of warmth and love. He's just this dad who's overwhelmed with life and just trying to keep things afloat. But he just brought such heart to that performance.
Zach Galifianakis and Ed Helms, both of those are kind of comedy gods to us. And the funny thing was that when we approached them, it turned out they were fans of all the British television comedy that B and Pete have done, things like Alan Partridge, etc. So it was this kind of weird situation in which they were going, oh, wow, you did that? And we were thinking, wow. So that was incredibly fun.
Happy birthday, my bunny! Whoopa, whoopa, that's it!
We have Olivia Colman playing Donka, who is Barney's grandma, and she is just like a force of nature.
I've never worked with Olivia before. She's obviously a goddess among women. And we asked her to be an enormously fat Bulgarian grandmother. And boy, did she give us big fat Bulgarian grandmother. She was wonderful.
Oh, if I just ran this up power out there, don't make it worse. Oh, Barney, once I mend my own hernia with bread knife and vodka.
Mark, played by Justice Smith, who is the idealistic inventor of the Bebop, brings such a real, raw, youthful enthusiasm to the character. And again, he was an amazing reference for our animators in terms of the physicality and just depth of detail in his acting. So he was just a delight to work with.
Okay, Andrew, you do this.
Okay, here's our story. We blame everything on the Rogue, a single unit with a minor coding error.
We didn't want to go for a conventional villain. We wanted to kind of have a comic villain that is slowly becoming more evil without even knowing it. And Rob Delaney is just amazing for the role. He cracked us up in every session. He's the funniest man we know, and we were delighted to have him in our cast.
We hose down the internet, delete every video, take down every post. Any TV station broadcasts it, we buy the station and replace it with cat videos. Then we sue the kids for misuse of product unless they sign a binding yada yada, and send the principal a fruit basket. I wonder what the shareholders would say.
We would improvise with the actors a lot just to help find the role and find the character, find elements that made us laugh. With Andrew, you do this, maybe we just feel you kind of cave in, like you've got a built-up tension there, and it's like, yeah, okay, you know, that feel to it, yeah. And then once we start really recording the lines, we like to really shoot reference for the animators so that they can, you know, really study the performances because there's just so much nuance and so much information they can mine.
Earlier on in the production, we shot one of the scenes in live action out in the parking lot, and being London, freezing cold, shivering, reading from the script, and shooting the sequence, and it was a lot of fun.
I don't like you, derp droid. Ow! Whoa!
And we were trying to basically shoot a fight scene, weren't we? And it involved, you know, one of our characters gets slapped, and Sarah, you know, she stepped up and, you know, opted to be the person that gets slapped. And I think I was doing the slapping. So it just helped us, you know, work out our creative differences.
And also just getting a bit of the handheld feel, especially for that scene, because you wanted to feel a little out of balance and a bit off for what the story was trying to say.
I'm gonna destroy you.
The animators see the energy of who it was coming out on screen. That's when I get excited because it just communicates something, I think, to me and hopefully to the audience that feels right.
Yo, why does it look like that? I'm gonna destroy you. What's happening? I'm gonna destroy you. Seriously, back off!
We initially tried to push the animators towards a very detailed and kind of emotionally real style of acting because we wanted all the subtext of the movie. But then you realise, you know what, it's a comedy, we have to go bigger, 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 and then you push them to go bigger and bigger in performance until you feel that you found the sweet spot. That's a sort of trial and error thing, really, as to, is it alive and poppy enough to feel like animation? Is it detailed and subtle enough to feel like emotional truth?
in our world, basically, instead of mobile phones, children have a little robot called a Bebot, and it's this sensational new project.
Fire release! Hey, what? It's a level 50 Easter egg, man! It's a robot that's a friend.
Yeah, it's like a aid in social networking, kind of, but for kids, because I think kids are the only ones who have it.
But it's kind of your own sidekick, if
Yes,
you will.
yeah, definitely.
It's someone to pal around with, to agree with you, to know everything about you. Hi, Absalom?
I'm Barney. How come you don't know that? You're supposed to know everything about me.
I'm supposed to know everything about you.
Beginning of the movie where you see the bots and how it's changed the landscape of the neighborhood and how they talk and they project and how they connect to each other. It's like right off the bat, they're already like kind of like signaling things, and you see different groups of kids getting together, and it's pretty awesome to see that, because it's like, imagine having to tap into the imagination of a child and being able to see it right in front of you.
First selfie from the red planet.
Okay.
Sharing.
With our Bebot design, we kind of thought, well, how would Apple design a robot? You know, what if you combine Google and Apple and Facebook and had them, you know, do the challenge of designing a robot? So we wanted a really lovely sense of industrial design. So very minimal, very cool. And it was really important to us that the Bebots are very appealing, very kind of attractive as a product. So we took a lot of time to kind of design how they move, how they transform, and how the arms and the wheels connect. Because we wanted to see it as like the coolest product we could possibly design. The whole screen element means that you can choose a skin for it, so it can be any kind of character you want. It can move like a zombie or like a dog. And for us as designers, it meant we could just design super cool skins for it and animate them.
My daughter watched a screening the other day. All of the way through the movie, she was going, but are they real? Are you going to get me one? Can I have one? And I came out saying, we have to make these things. If the movie does anything, it's going to make kids want to buy one.
We also worked with Aurélien Pradal, our production designer, who partnered with Nathan Crowley, who had just finished designing Dunkirk and agreed to come and make an animated film with us, which was really awesome. Aurélien is kind of a genius with color and lighting. I've always loved his work, so it was amazing just to persuade him to design our movie.
For the world of non-search, so we're going with very boxy shape. It's very dull, very flat. Everything is rectangular. So when you have those Bebots coming in the market, they're the only round and perfect thing in the street.
It's supposed to be a really relatable world. It's supposed to feel kind of tactile and rich, because we wanted to tell a story that felt real, real to children living today. But we also loved the kind of wild landscape around town. Like, we were really inspired by, the kind of redwood forests you get in Northern California. And we wanted the world to feel quite rugged. And then there's the world of Bubble, which is the company that make the Bebots. And we just really wanted to push that architecture and that sense of design to make it feel really playful.
For all the Bubble world, we want a total contrast. So everything is round, it's colorful. All those environments are made of screen, glass. It's very shiny. So it's a total opposition with the town and the rest of this universe, actually.
Those two things contrast and fight, and we get into the really sort of scrappy part in the middle of the movie, which is where Ron and Barney's friendship comes to life. And that's where the visual style really gets upset, and we're bouncing around and things come from different places that you never expect it. It gets more intense as things start to go wrong. And then finally, I recall it wabi-sabi. It's this Japanese idea of the beauty of imperfection, and that's where we get to at the end of the film, where Barney and Ron's friendship's able to bring all these different crazy parts of life together into something that's beautiful.
Ron!
A lot of us are parents. We're also watching our kids kind of use social media and be kind of surrounded and live their relationships online. And we really wanted to just kind of examine what is happening to our friendships and our interactions when they're kind of filtered through an algorithm and filtered through your phone, filtered through social networks.
There is more than an algorithm in a friendship. It should be the most natural interaction that you can have with anybody. It should be a strong bond of trust and confidence and reliability, and there should be a bond of love there.
You are my friend.
I like that there's an honesty to this movie, at least in the relationship, where they're trying to figure out what true friendship is. And I think, I mean, if you ask somebody that's my age, I think we have completely lost that, and we've put a lot of onus into technology and how it's going to save us. Well, I think human beings are the only people we're going to save each other.
I would hope that kids would come out understanding that the way that devices, etc., make you relate to each other can be limiting, and that the kind of joy and craziness of a relationship with someone who doesn't agree with you all of the time actually is kind of some of the richest, most funnest and rewarding thing that you can have.
Go, Ron. You don't have to stay within 6 feet. Go. Be everywhere.
Hi, insert registered name. I am your best friend out of my box.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, no. Stay here and learn stuff. So we're working on a project called Ron's Gone Wrong together.
And I play Ron.
And I play Barney, the owner of him.
Low power warning.
Okay, go to sleep. Power down.
I'm not on social media. I don't know anything about this stuff. How old are you?
16.
Okay, so I'm 26. Like, I don't know anything about even apps.
Really?
No.
You got a Motorola or something? What kind of phone?
I don't have I have a landline, so there's a generational gap here.
16, 26.
Yeah, so, you know, we don't even know how to talk to each other.
Because I can't text your landline.
Do you know what a landline is?
It's like a phone,
okay,
dude.
all right. You have to yell at me. Like this robot finds things out through social media, correct? Am I right about that?
Yes.
Or is it programmed? I think the robot would immediately know once it meets me that I'm not really 5'7".
Is that what it says on the internet, that you're 5'7"?
Yeah, that I'm.
Oh my
When it really
God.
meets me, I'm 6'2".
No.
So that would be the first, like, oh, that's misinformation. And it would know that I like tzatziki.
I love tzatziki.
I'll make you some. It's very easy.
Cool.
Those are the only two things that I reveal about myself. My height and my love for yogurt-based side dishes.
I also like tzatziki, but I post a lot about I skateboard. I skate, so I post a lot of videos of that. So that, like, I don't know, might be interested in that.
We actually met at the skate parks, the two of us.
Yeah,
because I've been shredding for years. Do you really skate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you? No.
No, man. More of a rollerblader. It's much cooler. What are we gonna talk about besides skating? I'm not on my phone that much. I'll have it, but I treat it like a landline. My phone, I put it down. I go do my business. I'm not gonna be a slave to a robot. Beat that 16-year-old.
The freakiest thing about it is that it's kind of impossible to survive without it, even how much you hate it.
If I text you,
I've had this
through a robot, you interpret how I texted you.
Yeah.
It's not
I've
my
had this
voice.
thought. Yeah.
It's not my eye. You don't see my eyes.
I know.
So you're interpreting what you want. So
Or like
I
if
think
someone like
that's
supposed
a
to text something sarcastically, you can't tell if they're sarcastic.
There's not a sarcastic font. Poop emoji? Emoji? Is that what they're called? Like, I don't know. Like, that to me.
That's what makes it sarcastic, doing a poop emoji.
Yeah, I miss the late 90s when you might have one voicemail on your phone. How exciting that was to get home. Oh my God, I have a voicemail. It's a telemarketer. Oh good, I'll listen to it again. I'm a Luddite, but I had to Google what that means.
What?
A Luddite is somebody that doesn't like technology. My brother, who's 53, he doesn't know how to get to the next town on his car without this thing. We should be more about nature and farming and agriculture, not this convenience.
Too late now, though, to rant about it.
Too late. I tried to warn people 2 years ago.
I now know everything about you. Now, I'm your best friend out of the box.
Imagine a device that is the fastest, most advanced, complex piece of technology in the world. But what if it wasn't just a device? What if it was your new best friend?
Hi!
Introducing the Bebot. It connects you to the world like never before. Express yourself. Imagine without limits. Create, play, and enter a new world of friendship. The Bebot. Let's make friends.
Wow.
Happy late birthday, Barney.
Oh, Dad, you got me one!
Hi! Insert registered name. I am your...
My Bebot. Bebot. The Bebot. There's something wrong with it. It's not meant to do that.
I'm not meant to do that.
I am for making friends. Does Barney need friends?
Well, yeah. Or, fun fact, he will not survive middle school.
Where are you going?
Addis Ababa,
You're supposed to stay
Amsterdam,
within 6 feet
Arizona.
of me.
6. I am insert registered name best friend out of my box.